Hi. In today's episode, we are going one level more closer to the machine coding round, where we are targeting first the code logic, next one is the async behavior, and third one is the polyfill. So in my bucket for today, I have three questions. First one for the code logic is, as you can see on the screen, is the student result processor, which process the student result and which is connected to core logic of the JavaScript. Next one is the async task with timeout, which touch the async behavior. And the third one and the last one is the polyfill category where we are targeting to create Array.flat from scratch. So these are exactly the kind of problem that asked by the different company and they decide where you are going to select or reject. So these are very uh, hot burning question you can say. So let's jump right into the coding section together. Okay, don't sit alone. Open your laptop and start coding along with me, or try to pause the video, and every time I try to solve and then try to solve by you and then come back. Okay, so let's jump right into the coding part. So let's switch my screen. Can I switch my screen? Yeah. Okay. So let's switch my screen. I'm become darker. No, this one is the okay. So as usual, I have the run.js editor open, so I can view my current progress. Okay, so this is the problem. First, the student result processing system. Okay, and where we get a array of a student result. It's give an array of student object. We give an array of student object where, for example, let's pass three data only for the simplicity, not making complex, but the logic will be a little bit tricky one. And what we are going to calculate is the first one we are going to calculate is total marks. Next one is the percentage, and then grade. So, and how the grade will work? If grade is greater than equal to 75%, student will get distinction. Okay, if greater than equal to 60, then first class. Okay, if greater than equal to 40, 40, pass. Okay, and less than 40, you nothing to say, fail. So these are the four basically. These are the four categories for slabs to distinguish the percentage and the grade basically, and what the user actually getting. Okay, now this is the output. Now let's jump to the coding part, and this will return a new array, not manipulate or mutate the original array. Okay, if you're passing an object of 3 and have something data inside, we are not going to change any of the data. We are going to create a new object, and then we'll push our manipulated data into that object or that array and return that one. Okay, so keep this in mind. Never ever pollute, mutate, manipulate original object, array, whatever. Fine, let's jump right into the coding. And as I suggested you, pause it, try to solve, and then come back. Okay, so let's show you some input and output that will work for you. So I throw the question, but I don't show you what is the input and what is the output. So let's show you the input, like what is the input like. Then for example, I give an input like this one, so you will get more easier in order to solve and get what the expected output is. Okay, so for example, I passing 3 array of a student, not 3 array, 3 object, sorry. Name will be Amit, and marks, simple, 2 keys only. Marks is array of object. Its first is 70 and next one is 80 and 90. So suppose these three are now. Copy this one and tweak some of the value. Okay, Amit, Sita, Ravi. Make suppose Ravi get 35, 35, 30 and 25. These are the marks of different subjects you can assume as of now. 45, 50, sorry, and 55, and now it's fine. Now we have object, input object we get. Now on the basis of this we have to pull out the total marks, the percentage and the grade. Okay, so pretty interesting, right? Yum. Now, so what will be the output? So the output will be like this. We get the name. We need the name, right? Which student we are targeting to, right? And the total. Total for the first student is, it's 240, I think. 240, yes, 240. Might be wrong, but you can check. Percentage, suppose it get 80%. Not suppose, it's get 80%. And the grade, I have enough space. Yes. Grade, distinction. So this will get this type of output from this type of data. Now just copy this one. Control C, Control V, Control V. Okay, I forgot this comma. Now this is Sita. Total get Sita get total of 120. 150. 150. Percentage she get 50. And grade she get what grade did she get? Any guesses? Pass, fail, distinction, what? Pass. Let's pass her. And in the last one was the Ravi. Ravi get total of what? 90. Alright, 90. Fine. Percentage he get not see he. Percentage he get 30. 30 is fine. And now if we get 30%, you know what the grade he's going to get. It's fail. Sorry, Ravi. So this is the final, this is the output we can expect. Now you have the input, you have the output. Go and just bang it down. Now let's jump right into the coding part. So we are done without a problem statement. Now license wale bhaiya. Okay, so function is the process result. This will get students. Fine. And we have to store the student in a separate array because we are not going to pollute, mutate, manipulate the original one. So we will just take a result array in which we are going to push our new result. Okay, so manipulated or processed result. Okay, so const result, and this is an empty array. Okay, it's going down. Let me go to now it's fine. Now what you have to do, we have to run a loop on the student array. Okay, so for let student of students. We get the first student. Now you have to get the total. So const, be careful to get the total. What you can use? Any guesses? Okay, without wasting time, I know you are right. Array dot reduce. So how this will work? This will work. We are going to add sum of all the marks inside this. Okay, to get the total marks. So it's pretty very straight and easy. So a student, very careful where you are pointing to the particular key. Okay, marks. It's in the student. This is, we are targeting the student object and the dot marks. Okay, and then reduce. Fine. What to reduce? From reduce, what we get? Accumulator and the next item. Suppose what we're going to do next here is we are going to add accumulator plus the next item, add it and move forward, and we get the just assign an initial value with 0 or it's optional. It's up to you. Now here we get the total. Can I console it? But I get nothing because I am not passing any, not calling this object, not calling this function, and not passing any input. Okay. The next target is the percentage. So what is the percentage? So const percentage will be the total divided by number of subject. Okay. Total divided by number of subject is the percentage, right? So total, we get the total. Now percentage is what? Number of subject is what? Dynamically, we don't do here that manually you put 3 or 4 or 5 after seeing the result array. No, just make it dynamic. Whatever is coming inside the marks array, we get the length, and this is the total number of subject. So student dot and this is the percentage we get. Okay, divide the total marks by number of subject. Fine. Time for the grade. So let's make a let variable grade. Now check for the different slab. So if grade is greater than or equal to 75, you know what you have to do? Grade. Assign the first string. What is the first string? Is distinction. Yes, I got it now. Distinction. Done. Else if grade. Sorry, I did typo here. Not grade, is percentage. Percentage greater than equal to what? 60. 60. Then grade equal to first class. You get first class. It's fine, but okay. Else if percentage greater than equal to 40, you are passed, dude. Congratulations. And this one nobody likes. Always try to close the statement by semicolon because you know JavaScript is little bit loose in nature, not in character. Fail. Sorry, dude. Fail. Okay. So in this way, we get our percentage. We get our grade on the basis of percentage. Okay, fine. Now time to push this in the result array. Okay, so result dot push, and in the object, first one was the, as you can recall, name student dot name, simple. Next one was total, percentage, and then grade. Total, then percentage and grade, and boom, done. And in the last, just return the result. So far so good. Now time to call this function with the input to check our function is still working or not. So grab this input, and in this way we can verify this is wrong or right as well. So const what happened? I don't know what happened next before. So this is our input. Now call the function. Our function name is process result. Yoo-hoo! We get our result over here. You can see. You can see this is our input, and this is our output. Name Amit, he got total of 240. Let's match with our 240, get percentage of 80, and get grade of distinction. Interesting, right? Sita, as expected, 150, 50, grade pass. And Ravi, 90, percentage 30, grade fail. So yeah, we are done with our first interesting problem of related to Java core logic, right? Time to jump to our next category. So this one is Async behavior JavaScript. Okay. And before jumping to the next category, just I want you to give 2-3 tips. So be careful where calculating the grade, the checking the percentage and the grade level, and calculating the percentage, initial percentage and the total. So get little bit more curious and attentive while calculating this initial value, because on the basis of this initial value we are going to calculate the another dependent value, right? Dependent key or the result. Now we are done with our first category. Now clean this up and then move to the next. So just clean up process started. Clean. Now next one is our what? You will guess right. Interesting. Async control. The problem is problem with timeout. Sorry, promise with timeout. Promise with timeout. And this is a cancelable task. Okay. So what this async task will do, this will execute a task, async task, and if the certain millisecond finishes, it if it reject if it doesn't complete it within the x millisecond. Okay. And third one, cancel the task if the timeouts occur. Okay, so this is the self cancelable or self rejection kind of async, where if the certain millisecond get passed, it will it will reject automatically. Okay, so this is how it's going to build. Now, in order to solve this problem, you have a good understanding of promise and the timeout logic, how timeout logic works. And after solving this question, the interviewer will know what are you understanding about the promise to reduce, how you are handling the API logics in the real world scenario, and you have the understanding of timeout logic. So these three categories get tested while you are solving this question. So this is also very good questions to solve in the context of async. Let's try to jump into the coding part. Okay, so function with timeout. What this will do? Take t with what this will take task, async task, and task in the millisecond. Okay, after how many milliseconds you want to make it clear, or so here now time to write the logic for the async task. So here we are returning a new promise. So first we will return new promise, and this will get resolve and reject. Inside this promise, we first create our timer, which is going to so be careful over here. We're creating a set timeout which will get execute after the certain millisecond which we are passing from here. For example, 500 millisecond, and if the particular task or async task which not get settled within this 500 millisecond, then this set timeout get triggered and this promise will return a rejected state. So here what will happen, we will creating a set timeout, assigning the timer constant to grab this instance, and then this will reject new error, and this will operation timed out. Okay, and after certain millisecond you passed. So as soon as you call this function, this will get triggered initially and timer started up to this millisecond. And in the parallel, we started our task, executed our promise task. Then we got our result before the millisecond you passed. For example, 500 millisecond. Before this 500 millisecond, we get the result in 300 millisecond or 400 millisecond. First things we need to do over here is to clear timeout, then resolve the result, and it's breaks or fails somehow, then in this case also what you do, clear it, clear timeout. Okay, timer, and then reject the with error. So far so good, pretty straight, right? So when this set timeout will start, this will return a promise. In this promise, either this promise will return a reject or resolve. So if this will get initiated first. For example, I've passed 500 millisecond, and within the 500 millisecond, this task don't resolve or reject or settled, then this will get triggered and this promise will return what? Reject state. Okay, pretty state, otherwise this will get returned from here, the settled state. So now time to call the function. For example, for first we have to make a task, a sync task. So function sync task, okay, or you can say slow task. Let's resolve. Set timeout. Resolve. Let's resolve done. It's done. And the timeout is 200 millisecond. Sorry, 2000 millisecond or 2 seconds. Okay. Got it? This is our slow task, which resolved in 2000 millisecond. Be careful. Our task, our make a slow task that is going to resolve in 2000 millisecond. Be careful, huh? What is happening over here is we are creating a manual resolve. Okay, so we can control the output timer using the promise. Now time to call the actual function. So our actual function is set timeout. Sorry, we pass the slow task and the let then what will happen? Console, just console.log, and then catch console.log. Oh, you see, operation timeout. Great, because we are resolving our actual API call in is just a mocking kind of in 2000 millisecond, and but the cutoff time you give to this function, the threshold we give is 1000. So this will not never ever giving to resolve, and this will throw operation timeout. Now tweak this function and make it to resolve kind of. So just I will make it to 500 and look what will happen. 500, and you can see I do some typo. Yes, now it's fine. Done. You see, done. So in this way you can control the async behavior with a timeout or timer. Now we are done with our second category questions regarding the async behavior of JavaScript. Now time for the last one for today, which is polyfill of flat, array.flat. You know array.flat, what it's doing? Just flatten the array according to the depth provided. Okay, click this one. The third problem is polyfill. Polyfill is for what? Array.flat. This is interesting one. Okay. So, and this will only take a depth. So at what level? Depth means at what level you want to make it flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. If it's 10 level of nested array and you provide a depth of 4, that will go up to 4 level of flattering. Now let's jump right into the coding part, because there's nothing to input, nothing to output, and just need to make a polyfill if the browser is not supporting, or you have to want to add some custom logic according to the business requirement. So time to make array.flat. So it's very easy and a very handy one. So just array.prototype.myFlat. Assign a function. What function will take? Depth. And initially suppose it is have depth of 1. Depth of 1. You know what is doing over here. If you know ES6 well, then you know what is this. Fine. Now our main agenda, never ever mutate the original array. So const result an empty array to hold the data. This will return a function, and this function first we called a function which takes array and depth, because look, array inside array inside array inside array inside array, and we don't know what level is going to deeper down. Okay, so we have to make a loop recursively. So the loop will start, and this will check if this item is an array or not. If this is an array, go back to the function, main function again with the array and the depth, and call it again. And if it's a simple object, simple item, just push into the result, otherwise call itself. So it's going the recursive manner. Okay, calling itself with a new set of data which is getting well looping through down the array. Okay, so we have to get first the function to make it call it recursively. Function flatten, FLATTRN. Okay, flatten. Fine. Array dot array. We get array and the depth. Now time to make a loop on the array object. Array object, array object, array of object for that item of array, and check. First we need to what? First logic we have to check if the item is array. Okay, if item is array and there is some depth, so we have to go through in that level of depth also. If what 2 times depth, we have to call the function, call the recursive function 2 times itself. If depth is greater than 0, we want to make the loop to go 2 level inside of that array to make this array flatten. So if This is an array, for example. Suppose I give an example as well, so it make much clearer to you. So for example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So if this is an array, for example, loop started, this is started from this level, started, it's got this one, okay, it got this one, and when this fall in this category, it's an array, right? It's an array, fine, that's true. And check for depth. If I pass its depth as 2, so this will go 2 level deeper inside this one, okay, 1 level, 2 level. So flatten is a call itself with the object itself, because this is object, right? We already checked over here, and we already here, so we need to go to the next depth level. So we already on the first depth, so depth -1, we call our itself in a recursive manner. Now else result dot push, if it is simple item, push this in the array. The last call itself, flatten this, the array passed in the context and the depth to execute itself, and finally return the result. Sorry. So this is the main part to look into. All these are pretty flat, but this is the main part. So how we are calling recursively if the depth is greater than 0. So for example, if this is the input, okay, we pass 2. So first item will be this one. It come here and check for 1 is an array. No, this will come here, push the item into the array. Fine. Second time it will come for 2. Fail. This check will get fail. Push this item into the array. Fine. 1 2. Third time it come over here. It is an array. Yes, true. Depth is greater than 0. True. It's 2. Come here. Call itself. And when this come again, this function get called from here. Item. The function will call itself with the item, and then we'll get this check will trigger, and this will get triggered. And according this will push like before. And this way we'll get the final result array. Now time to call this one. Okay. Clear? It's a pretty clear. Console.log. Now, for example, take this array as an example point. Dot my flat and pass to 2. See, we got the result 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Oh, you're not able to see, right? Now you can see the result. Let's call this with 1. You can see it's go only 1 level down. Leave the next level array as it is. So in this way we are done with our third installment of polyfill. So whenever you're trying to make a polyfill of flat, just give a deep attention to the depth. Okay, this self-calling iteration function, don't forget it. This is the main heart of this flat method, and then the logic to call itself using to call itself with a recursive technique. Okay, and and also after every iteration you have to slice down the depth by 1. That's episode 8 is done. So we touch the core logic, then async behavior, and then the polyfill. So these are the real decision making interview questions. So if you like this, then please subscribe, comment, give it a thumbs up or like, so that it's motivate me to make such in-depth video. And yeah, that's all. Let's see you in the episode 9 with some more intense and more in-depth questions, so you can enjoy and solve as well. So but till then, bye bye, take care, keep coding, keep smiling.